What's up, Super Jock?
Super Jock. What's up, Superb Owl? Is that what people say for Super Bowl? Superb Owl?
Yeah.
That's you. You're the Superb Owl.
Did you watch the game?
I did.
How did you watch it? I thought you didn't have an antenna.
I do have an antenna. I can watch antenna TV.
Did you get one?
I've had one.
You said on here you didn't have one and you couldn't watch like 2, 4, and 7, and I told you to get an antenna.
That was maybe 3 years ago. You know, we've done this podcast for like 4 years.
No. No, listen, do you want to hear something funny that's in this same vein? I sold a couple things on eBay this past week and I was excited and I could not for the life. One of them was a poster, like a music poster that I got from working at a record store a million years ago. And I was like, oh, that finally sold. And it felt probably in my head, I'm like, oh, I probably listed that 2 years ago. Listen, I listed it 6 years ago.
What?
I swear.
6 years ago?
I swear. And it finally sold.
Jeez, us.
It's a wonder I could even find it. Somebody made an offer and I'm like, now I have to find it. I don't even know where it is, but I did find it.
Good work, buddy.
I know. That's
6 years in the making for about 10 cents profit.
Listen, I sold it for $35. I'll take it.
All right.
That's food money, baby. Gotta just keep it on there. You gotta not be in a hurry and you just gotta keep the item on there because it has a home out there somewhere.
I watched some guy did a YouTube video because, you know, my algorithm's fucked up. And it was all about him being a YouTube seller.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about the pluses and minuses.
A YouTube seller.
Or excuse me, an eBay seller.
Okay.
And he was talking about the pluses and minuses, and he walked into his garage, and there's literally like 40,000 things. And he's like, a lot of this stuff's been for sale for like 5-10 years.
Yeah, that's my whole house. People come in here and they're like, why is all this shit everywhere? And half of it's on eBay and I didn't sell it yet. And I've seen that on TikTok or online. People have the garages with like bins and they have like numbers and they make like filing numbers so they can find the shit again. But mine's just, it's either in the attic or it's in the spare room. It's fucking everywhere.
At a certain point, though, don't you just open a store?
I mean, me and you could open a store.
We could, yes.
I just don't ever want to be anywhere that's not my house. So
Right.
no problem. I'd have to have people come to my house and shop in that. It's creepy.
Yeah.
Any fucking way. I wanted to go back and talk about the Super Bowl.
I watched the Super Bowl. I have no idea why I watched it.
Because we're American. I think it's like when you're born, they just put a chip in your body and it makes you watch it every year, even if you don't care.
I literally wanted to watch it because every year it's about the Super Bowl commercials.
Mm-hmm.
And like, were there any good Super Bowl?
They were so underwhelming.
It was shocking.
The only two that I liked were, well, I'll say 2.5. One, the Doritos UFO commercial, obviously.
I liked that one. Yes, of course.
And then you know what my second one is, don't you?
No.
The one with Glenn Powell.
Oh, I didn't see it. I must have like went up and got out of the room. What did he do?
That was like the best one. He's reading a story to some kids and he has like, they're showing like a reenactment of him in a whatever, and he's got long hair like Fabio hair, and he fights a dragon and he jumps over a volcano. And
I missed it. I totally missed it.
It's on his Instagram, so anybody out there, you can watch it. It was really good. Like, just the production value of it was fucking nuts.
All right.
So those two are my only favorites, and then I'll give a half star for the one with Willem Dafoe in it, because I just didn't expect to see his face during the Super Bowl.
Oh, you know what? I watched that weird where it's Willem Dafoe and Catherine O'Hara, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like tennis pros or something. Yeah. I watched that, and I was like, this isn't a bad commercial, and that's not a bad team up for a movie.
No.
Like him and her, because they're both insane.
Both insane, yeah. And I don't even know what that commercial was for.
It was for beer.
Okay. That's it. That's all I got. And then the only other thing that was notable, I feel like that I enjoyed was Harry Connick Jr. was at the beginning.
I did like that. I've always kind of been a fan of Harry Connick Jr., even though he's had some questionable moments in his life.
I love him. I was glad to see it. And nobody rides harder for New Orleans than he does. So
yeah, for sure. You should watch YouTube videos of him as a little boy playing piano. It's unbelievable. He's like a prodigy. It's crazy.
I love him.
I thought it was really weird because there's a Harrison Ford commercial for Jeep.
I know. It was really long and like growly.
Do you know that like the beginning of it is all about like heroes and the military and stuff?
Yeah.
He got out of Vietnam by saying he was a conscious objector.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I thought that was really weird that they picked him to be like military American heroes, but like when it was Vietnam, I wasn't
Not
going.
me.
Like, not me.
Just kidding.
So strange.
That was the thing. There was several commercials during this one where I was like, and they were for big companies. Obviously, that's only that was on there. But I'm like, these are some of the worst slogans and branding. Like the visuals were fine, but the words, I'm like, this barely makes any sense. The slogans were weird.
Like, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. It seems like those commercials were written by AI.
They do. I swear to you right now, the one that I was just going to bring up that made me feel weird, that didn't make any sense, was the fucking AI one at the beginning.
I just think that they were all written by like a group of people who put ideas into AI, and the AI was like, and then Eugene Levy's eyebrows fly around.
I swear. There was one, the one I'm talking about was at the beginning, and it was a Coca-Cola commercial, and they show like these kids walking into a store, and they're like, yeah, I feel like AI is going to take over everything. And then they shoot back to the 70s, and they're like, yeah, I feel like computers are going to take over everything. And then someone awkwardly says, I feel like everything's going to be fine. That wasn't a statement. Didn't solve anything. That was so awkward.
It was a really weird commercial. I saw it too. And like you said in the beginning, the kid is complaining. He's like, AI is going to take over. This is going to be AI. That's going to be AI. That's going to be AI.
Right.
It's going to take over. And then it flashes back to when someone's going, this is going to be a computer. That's going to be a touchscreen. That's going to be a computer. And then at the end, they don't
Which
say.
were both true.
Yeah. They're both true. It's no one ever says like, oh, well, yeah, for sure. AI is going to take over. That's going to happen, but we'll be fine.
Yeah. That was so and the awkwardness of it felt like it was written by AI. I'm like, what was the message here?
Yeah, very strange.
That was so weird. And then the other weird one that was branding was Nike had like, I think their message was like, people are gonna hate on you, so do it anyway. But the way that they said it was worded so weird.
Oh yeah, you'll never win, so win.
You pay people for that. What the fuck was that? What is that slogan? You'll never, whatever. So what? That was the worst.
It's AI written.
That had to be.
It's all AI written now.
Everything's ruined. Creativity is ruined. People think they can do it for you, and then everything doesn't feel human, and it feels very awkward.
And let me get into this, because I already hate this company.
Oh, God.
And the Dunkin' Donuts commercial is a nightmare.
Remind me which one it was, because I feel like it might have been when I was driving to
It was like a conference of coffee companies.
Okay.
And Dunkin' has, like, of course, the Affleck brothers sitting at a table, and they're telling about like how down home in American Dunkin' is. And then it like cuts to Casey Affleck, and they show some guys in green, like Starbucks looking uniforms.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, get out of here. Nobody wants an almond frappuccino, mocha, no glaca. They want coffee. They want hot coffee. And everybody's like, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, so what you're saying is Dunkin' is a coffee for
the working man?
The working man?
The place with pink cups, and everything is 10 times the sugar that it should be?
Everything is frosted. Everything is, yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, very weird. It was these commercials were terrible.
Terrible. Yeah, the messaging was so weird. Did not like, and there was no good like animal. There was some animal ones, but not ones like I've legitimately cried at Super Bowl commercials before. None of these were like, oh, I'm gonna cry, or like that seal one was so weird. Did you see that fucking seal one?
No, I didn't see a seal.
There was literally one with a fucking crowd of seals, real seals, and Seal the singer's face was on the fucking seal, singing "Kiss from a Rose." It was uncomfortable.
AI.
It was really uncomfortable. Any fucking way. That was a lot. That was too much time on that. The only other cute thing I wanted to mention was,
oh geez,
my dad does Super Bowl squares every year and sells them to the people at his work, and then half of them usually go to his work and half of them go to our family. And he sent me a picture, and he's like, I got your squares. And I had asked for 2, so I thought it was going to be me and Toad in the squares. And he sent me the picture, and he had bought an additional square for Bean, my passed away ghost dog, and he put a little halo over Bean's name. And I was like, that's the sweetest thing anybody's ever done.
Your dad is one of the best.
He is one of the best. He doesn't even think about, that's the thing. He's so pure that he doesn't even think about it. And then like I sat on it for a couple hours and I was still emo about it. And then I was like, wait, we have human passed over relatives that that weren't recognized on these squares. And my ghost doggo is on the squares. So I was really stoked and I thought it was really cute. But yeah. Oh, and then yeah, so for the game, I texted my dad yesterday just to kind of get a feel for what he was doing. And he said that my brother was going over his friend's house and that was it. And I'm like, so you're gonna sit there by yourself and watch? I'm like, no, I'm coming over. So, but I kind of, okay, at first I was like, do you want to watch it alone? Do you want some time by yourself or do you want me to come over? And then he's like, no, you can come over. And just for a split second, I was like, wait, did I just ruin his time of just like having like a nice quiet night? But then I knew that he would start to get really excited. And then like 3 minutes past that, he texted me, he's like, I'm gonna make pasta and marinara and garlic bread and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, sick. Now he's really fucking excited. So I went over there for the game. He made enough food for fucking 10 people, and it was just me and my dad only. I brought you spaghetti on the way home. He made
Secret snack drop off.
secret snack drop off. Because I got 2 of those containers and I'm not going to have 3. So I brought you 1. And then it was, I don't know, it was so cute. And then, yeah, so he, over the course of the night, he thanked me like literally like 4 or 5 times out loud for coming over. He's like, thanks for coming over and watching this with me. This was so fun, blah, blah, blah. It was like really wholesome. Don't gonna let him, you can't let your dad watch the Super Bowl by himself. That's illegal.
I let my dad watch the Super Bowl.
Well, he lives 5 hours from here. That doesn't count. If your dad lived 10 minutes from here and you knew he was watching it alone, you would go over there.
That is true.
So it was a very wholesome time. My dad has the 2 rescue dogs and his other dog. And then I brought Toad over there and they all went fucking insane. His dogs are not even 1 yet, so they're nuts. And Toad, he gets pushed around a little because he's a little nug.
Right.
So Toad is very tired. But it was a really wholesome, fun time. On the 3rd quarter, I was so fucking close to winning on Toad Square, and then the score changed. The score changed a million fucking times per quarter on this game, and I lost. But it was still fun. Me nor my dad, neither of us won anything.
I love that. It was like a blowout.
Dude, it was a blowout.
Crazy.
It made the game go by faster too because there was not any stopping anything. So it just kept going. I'm like, all right. I'm like, shit, this game's almost over.
Well, speaking of your father, let's go to my father.
Oh, yeah.
I have had an enormous amount of emails from people willing to help my father out with his lost photographs on his tablet. And I thank all of you for your concern and your emails. You're all wonderful. I love you. And the issue has been resolved.
Did they take it to the one computer repairman up in Upper Michigan?
Yes, they took it to the one computer repairman in Upper Michigan who spent 45 minutes on the phone with me creating new accounts, new passwords. The logins would get sent to me for some reason. Then I would have to tell them. Then we went back and forth and round, and they found the majority of his photographs. So I think some of them are still gone, but they were enough to please my father, and that is fine. And then the guy I'm talking to him for 45 minutes on the phone. He goes, so Walmart said they're going to pay for all this, so we should bill Walmart. And I'm like, 100% you should bill Walmart.
Hell yeah, nice.
And so he's like, okay. So my father calls me, my dad. Listen, my mother's angel hangs over him and takes care of him. Mm-hmm. He knows that I'll be fine. My brother-in-law, my sister are fine. She looks after my nephew, and she looks after my fucking dad. He calls me. He goes, so I know you talked to the guy from the computer company, and you know they got all my photos back, and they billed Walmart. So I went over to Walmart and made sure that they paid the bill, and Walmart gave me a $100 gift card for my trouble.
All right.
So not only did he get all of his fucking photos back, after this nonsense, they gave him a $100 gift card.
That's good, because if they didn't, we were going to send them listen, we're going to blast this episode of the podcast where we talk shit about you forever all over the internet unless you make him happy.
It all works out for him.
Well, now you have to teach him how to do the thing where you just upload them online and then you go pick them up and you don't bring your fucking physical computer anywhere.
Yeah, the first thing I had to do was I had to make it so that his tablet automatically saves photos to Google Drive and his Amazon account. So
nice.
Like that way it's spread out.
Nice. We can all sleep better now.
Everyone can sleep better now. Now, speaking of sleeping better.
No, but wait, listen, I would love to know if that small town computer guy sent Walmart a bill for like $13,000.
I didn't want to ask, but I bet you they soaked him.
I really want to know.
He was super excited when I said bill them. And he was like, okay, we will. Absolutely. 100%. So you know that they sent them like a 10 grand fucking bill.
Oh my God, wait, I have to backtrack for just 1 second because another wholesome fucking thing happened at my dad's involving the football squares, and you're gonna die. So I know most of these people's names because he's worked with the same people my entire life. So it's either my relatives or the people from his work. So I think it was the second quarter or something. This person named Kevin wins, and I'm like, oh, he's like, oh, nice, Kevin. It's so funny and wholesome to me that I can't even tell the story. I'm like choking. I'm like, oh, sick. Who's Kevin? He's like, he's the kid at Jersey Mike's, and I'm like, I'm like. I'm like, wait, whoa. I'm like, you're just friends with the kid at Jersey Mike's? He's like, yeah, he's really nice. And he gives me like vouchers for free sandwiches sometimes. And we talk about football. And I thought he would want to be in my squares. And he did. So he's like, I'm really glad he won. And I'm like, you are the cutest, most wholesome person. Because he's like that everywhere he goes. He's the friendliest, nicest person ever. Everybody knows him.
So funny.
Oh my God, I died. I'm like, all
the
right,
kid from
Kevin.
Jersey Mike's.
I swear to you right now. I'm like, oh my God, your homie at the fucking sandwich place just won your square. Ooh, that is so cute to me.
It's so funny.
Shout out Kevin from Jersey Mike's. He was seriously so happy he won. Anyway, anything else?
I wanted to talk. I mentioned about sleeping or something.
Oh, yeah.
So this morning I woke up and I knew that we were going through a little bit of a cold clip here. It's back down in the 20s.
Yeah, it's wretched outside right now.
And I woke up this morning and I could see the breath in my room.
Oh, geez. God, put your thermostat up.
So that's the thing. I was like, what's happening? Obviously, like my furnace hasn't turned on. Like my thermos is set right now at 65. There's no way I can see the breath in my room. Like there must be a window or a door open or something. My fucking furnace, the thermometer on the wall has a AA battery in it.
Oh, geez.
And it went dead during the night. So my furnace didn't turn on all night long.
Brutal.
I woke up, it was freezing in my house.
God. There's no way.
One little battery.
Dang. Yeah, my last one used to have a battery in it, but now I have it's hardwired in.
Yeah, you have to upgrade.
Crazy.
So everybody, if you have a furnace, check your battery.
Check the battery.
Check the wall battery.
That's nuts. So movie time, there's just a couple things that I watched that are really good that you guys should watch. One, there's a movie in theaters right now called Companion with Sophie Thatcher from Yellow Jackets. It's really, really good. I put it on my best horror of the year already. The thing is, I can't even tell you what it's about because it'll spoil it.
Right, but if you watch the trailer spoils the whole thing anyway.
I know, and I didn't watch the trailer, and then somebody's tweet ruined it for me, but let's just say if you like Black Mirror the show Black Mirror, or any kind of like commentary on
technology.
Yes, technology and like women's rights kind of, and men being awful, and I don't know. But it's a thriller. It's so good. It has so many twists, and I wish I could say more, but it's so good. Just trust me on this. Watch Companion, and it'll probably be on streaming sooner than later, so just watch it because it's so good. And Sophie Thatcher is so talented and does so many like it's hard to explain because her character like has a progression, and the progression of her going through so many emotions with her little eyeballs and her little face, she's so fucking talented, and she has you like so emotional the whole time. But then it's also like there's crazy stuff that happens in gore and weird. It's weird and a good time.
And in my dream world, you're best friends with Sophie Thatcher.
I know. Listen, and speaking of that, because the new season of Yellow Jackets, season 3 starts on Valentine's Day. So in the last week, I re-binged season 1 and 2 of Yellow Jackets, and it's so fucking good. I forgot how good it is.
It's good.
God, I want to watch it again already, and I just watched it. It's so good. There's so much like I missed when I watched it the first time.
Yeah, it's pretty dense.
It is. So anyway, yeah, watch Companion. And then the other thing that comes out on Shudder on Valentine's Day is called The Dead Thing. And this is another one I can barely tell you guys anything fucking about because there's twists and I can't ruin them for you. But just know that it kind of involves online dating and like kind of like the feeling of being ghosted by people and like, oh, I guess I'm gonna try and date somebody else now because everybody's terrible, that kind of thing. And there's like a paranormal element to the movie, but I can't tell you what it is, but it's really good. And you can watch it from home on the 14th It's called The Dead Thing. And it's really stylish. Like the way they do the movie is very stylish. The poster is like my favorite. I feel like it's going to be my favorite poster of the year. It's so pretty and spooky. Just the whole movie is very spooky and stylish. Both of these movies are weird and original and really good.
And I have been watching the entire catalog of the 1970s British-made television show Thriller on Tubi.
I've never even heard of that, I don't think.
It is like every season is like 6 to 10 episodes, and it's just maybe 2 hour long episodes of like suspense horror thriller stories. Like some of them are devil worship, some of them are just murders, but wow, is it when you want to fall asleep, but you want to fall asleep to like some horror or some weird stuff. This is it, because not only was it made in the 70s, so it has that 70s pacing, it was made in England, so it's dry.
Nice.
And it's wonderful.
It's from the 70s, you said, and it's on Tubi?
Yeah, it's called Thriller.
Is there famous people in it or not really?
What's interesting is that when they made it, even though it was a British-made show, the company was like, we've got to get American movie stars on it. Mm-hmm. So the stars that are on it are 70s TV American stars. And you're like, oh, this random woman from Love Boat or this random woman from Different Strokes. Like, it's really weird.
That's what happened to Black Mirror, because Black Mirror, when it started, was all like British and European people and nobody that we knew, and then they just started throwing our stars in the show, and then everybody said we ruined it.
It's super weird.
Okay, I want to watch that. Do you know how many seasons there are?
Oh, I think there's like 8 seasons.
Dang.
And the thing that's really funny is because there are American actors in each episode, they have to like at some point like address it. So they'll say like, so where are you from? Oh, I'm a college student from America. So where are you from? Well, I'm from New York, over here on business. Like they have to have a moment why they explain why there's an American person on this British show. It's really silly.
What the fuck? Like people aren't allowed to be in other countries?
It's so weird.
Why do you have to explain? They're just there.
But it really does. It goes from like a Columbo type murder episode to full out, the hotel desk clerk is doing satanic rituals and Satan is living in a house possessing people. It's so good.
That's why I love watching weird shit, because I don't need those steps from whatever A to Z. I just take us there. Great. Do I have to believe why that's happening? Nope. Just fucking run it.
And there's like one episode in particular, there's an episode that takes place and it revolves around this librarian, and there's a bunch of murders in her town, and they do such a good job they introduce so many characters that are so weird. You're like, I've got no fucking idea who this is.
No idea.
Until like it literally comes down to the last 30 seconds of the episode.
That's exciting.
It's really cool. Thriller.
I want to watch it. And then the only last thing that I watched was last night I had a binge of, there's a new true crime mini, what do you call it? Docuseries on Hulu. It's made by ABC Studios, so it plays like 2020. It's like a 3-episode 2020 basically, but it's called Wicked Game Devil in the Desert on Hulu, and it dropped on February 4th, and it's so good. It's nuts.
Is it a murder doc?
It's a true crime doc. There's this one guy who's on so many true crime docs so many that I've watched. His name's Matt Murphy, and when this guy comes on my screen, he's like a gray-haired, handsome, he was a homicide prosecutor and district attorney in California, and he is a legal analyst for ABC News.
So it's not Matt Guitar Murphy from the Blues Brothers?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's just Matt Murphy. But this guy is such a boss. And every time if I'm watching a true crime thing and he comes on the screen, I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be the most fucked up thing I've ever heard. And then they bring him on and he's like, this was like the most fucked up case I've ever handled. And he prosecuted Rodney Alcala, the guy who was the dating game killer. So he has done all the things. So he's in this talking about the case. And the way that they start the case is like, they jump right in. The first part of it is so fucking nuts that your jaw is on the ground. And then the rest is it keeps going. And I'm like, how many more things are going to happen in this case that are nuts? And I can't tell you any of them because I just need you to see it. I just need you to see, listen, there's true crime. There's international things that happen. There's literal mutilation. There's everything that you can think of in this case. I'm like, and I didn't listen when I opened the screen. I thought it was 3 different short stories, and I was going to do some shit around my house. So I'm like, I'm just going to watch this first one. But then it ended up being of the same story, like 3 episodes of the same story. And I'm like,
it sucked you in.
Yes, the first one, I'm like, okay, I'm not moving. I did not move I watched the whole thing straight through. I'm like, this is the craziest shit I've ever watched. And I put it in the Patreon chat, and they're like, some people already watched it, and they're like, this is fucking insane. I'm like, I know, I told you. I'm not gonna come in here unless it's a good one. It's a good one.
What's it called?
Wicked Game, Devil in the Desert.
Okay, so Wicked Game, Devil in the Desert. You love it? Can't really talk about it. Companion, love it? Can't really talk about it. Dead Thing, love it? Can't really talk about it.
At this point, I just need y'all to trust my judgment and my taste level and just go with it, because they all have like a drop, like the whole thing, like you were saying, like in your story, the thriller thing, you said like you're watching a regular thing and then this fucked up thing happens. I can't tell you, or it ruins the whole thing. And I feel so bad because there's been quite a few horror movies and different thrillers, regular movies that have come out in the last year or two where they're so fucking brilliant, and I feel so bad for them. It's like, how do you even cut your trailer? Because you can't give it away. And if you don't give part of it away, who's going to go see it?
What's super interesting about that thriller, when you go to Tubi, if you choose to watch any of them, it gives you like a 2-sentence description of what it is. And it literally will say like, Anna has a hard time with her boyfriend at the hotel. And then you watch it and it's a satanic group murdering people. And then like a devil comes out of the ground at the end. And you're like, wait a minute, what? That's like, I mean, that's not an episode. I'm just saying like.
Yeah, they can't tell you. Can't say it. That's why both of these, Companion and The Dead Thing, are essentially about dating, kind of. And if I read you either of the synopsis right now, I guarantee it says like, oh, this person goes on a date or meets so-and-so, and it's not what it seems. So that's literally what the fuck I'm saying.
Yes.
I just can't say anything, but they're really fucking good, or else I wouldn't talk about it at all.
I know, they're all for you.
They're all for me. I know, I put Companion and, well, I put Hard Eyes on my best of the year.
Good work.
I'm still deciding on The Dead Thing, if it's going to be best of the year or honorable mention.
We're early in the year.
I know. I don't want to commit yet.
No.
There's so many coming. I want to see Death of a Unicorn, and I didn't even watch the trailer yet because I don't want to, but it's literally Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd, and they hit a fucking unicorn driving in their car.
I've seen the trailer.
I want to see it so bad. That's good. And The Monkey is almost out. That's going to be so good. And I didn't watch that trailer either because I don't want it ruined for me.
Yeah. And Presents.
And Presents I didn't even watch yet.
Yeah.
I will watch it though.
Big year.
Big year.
While you were watching all those movies, I went to a live show.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I literally like went on a Sunday afternoon, because the show was on a Sunday night in downtown Detroit at the Magic Stick, and I went down 3 hours early to hang out at the Whitney at the Ghost Bar and have some drinks, and I met some really rich, wonderful people who spend a lot of money helping animals, which I thought was great. And then I went across the street to see a live show by Tim Heidecker.
Which you have now explained this person to me twice, and I still don't know them.
Yes. So if anybody listening doesn't know, back in the early to mid 2000s, Tim Heidecker was part of Tim and Eric Awesome Show, Great Job on Adult Swim. And over the years, he has done the On Cinema Oscars specials and has a podcast called Office Hours. And now he has a band. And so they played probably 2 hours at the Magic Stick, and it was really good and really funny. But it was a weird show because they played, and then they had a comedian come out after 45 minutes and do a 30-minute set. Then they came back and finished the show.
That's what literally what I was just going to ask you. I'm like, wait, did he play songs the whole time, or did he talk, or was there any comedy?
There was music, and then this guy named Neil Hamburger, who is a character played by another guy named Greg Turkington, came out and did the comedy of Neil Hamburger. And then they came out and finished their show. But all of that pales in comparison to something very sweet and wonderful to my heart.
What?
So.
Did you tell me this yet in real life? Or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. We're all gonna find out together, guys.
So for people who don't know, the Majestic Theater has multiple theaters. It's a bowling alley. There's a club upstairs. There's a big theater on one of the sides. There's like tons of places. Anyway, so I go there and I'm just kind of hanging out, waiting for the show to start. Now, stop here. Let's flash back, shall we? Tenney, at the age of like 15, is skipping school, hanging out the library and the local record store. The record store, while I will eventually get a job. And there's one person at the record store who actually likes me, and her name is Dianna. The only person, when I started working there, the only person who liked me at that record store. Everybody else hated me.
Listen, I feel like we're talking about, I know her too.
You know Dianna?
Yeah, she worked at Record Time.
All right.
She's my homie too.
All right. So listen to this. So I walk in. She runs the Majestic.
Yep, she's let me into shit before.
I did not know this. So I'm sitting there and she walks past me and I go, hi. And she goes, hi. And I instantly become 15 years old again. Like, so much so, like, I'm talking to her. She's trying to go to the bathroom, and I'm, like, trying to talk to her. I spill my drink all over myself. Like, I am 15-year-old nervous seeing this person. He was the only person who liked me when I was a teenager. We talk for a little bit, and then, so I don't know how long it's been since I've seen her. And then I go up to the show, and, like, as the show is ending, I leave a little early so I can get out before the crowd gets out and stuff like that. She's talking to some other people, and she introduces me to another guy at the Magic Stick. And she goes, this is John Tenney. I used to work with him at Off the Record. You should listen to his podcast. It's called What's Up, Weirdo.
What? She listens to us?
She listens to us.
Cute.
What? My mind fucking blew.
Oh, that's really cute.
I was like, how do you know the name of my podcast? She's like, I listen to your podcast. I'm like, whoa, get out of here.
Buddies.
That's amazing.
Everybody knows everybody.
And I didn't think I could love her more, and I do immediately. I was like, holy shit.
Shout out Dianna.
Shout out Dianna.
Icon.
That's crazy to me. Crazy. Loved it.
Loved it.
Best moment in many, many months.
That's so cute. I guess I didn't know she still worked there because I don't barely go to shows anymore. But in my still heyday, I would see her there quite a bit.
It blew my mind.
That's crazy. That's why it's so, listen, you guys don't, I mean, I'm sure every city has their version of it, but y'all don't understand like how deeply connected the Detroit show scene is and like how we know. Me and Tenney have known the same people since we were like in middle school and we see them around and you always, and that's why it's so hard when one of these people passes away, and it's happened quite a few times recently in the last few months. There's these characters that are intertwined in your life and that we've known them our whole life. And then you always think you're like, oh, when I'm at this place in Detroit, when I'm at this place in Detroit, when I go to this show, blah, 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 that person is always going to be there. And then when they're not, it's just like, oh, it's the worst.
It's the worst.
Like, that person is built into like my whole life and my memories of this place. Like, we all take it really fucking hard when one of the community like is not around anymore.
Yeah. And that's literally, like you said, like when I was going home, I was like, I've known her for 40 years.
Yeah. Yeah. These are like just people that like, yeah, they're built into your fucking life, bro.
It was a super lovely moment.
I love that. I'm glad you told me.
It was so hard to not tell you on our regular phone talks.
I know. You didn't tell me. I know. I know, you guys, sometimes like we avoid talking to each other so that we can, a lot of times we do, just so we can talk on here, because if you say it for the second time, it doesn't have the same spark. Like we have to be really reacting in real time to real news.
And then I was kind of bummed out because I watched Tim Heidecker's podcast on YouTube, which is called Office Hours, the day after the Detroit show. And he said that so far on their tour, Detroit ranked last.
Why the fuck would he say that?
He is rating it by crowd energy, green room, and like food and travel.
Well, no shout out for you, Tim Heidecker.
And you know, he was like, he goes on his podcast the day after, he goes, so we're headed to Canada, but can anybody guess where I am right now? And, you know, you can't really guess because it's a fucking YouTube show. And he goes, I'm in the middle of Michigan, and I'm going to go to like the most world famous Bavarian chicken place. And I was like, that motherfucker's in Frankenmuth.
Yeah, why did he go all the way up there?
And then he goes, I'm at a place called Splash Village in Frankenmuth. And I'm like, that's where the Michigan MUFON meeting happens.
That's where the Cheese Palace is, or whatever the fuck it is. Is that what it's called?
Cheese House.
Cheese House. With the giant mouse that I made you take a picture next to. That's funny. Well, sorry. Detroit is a lot more fun in the summer. In winter, we're all just fucking depressed and dead. So fucking sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
Even still, you're not supposed to say that shit out loud. That's not very nice.
No, you know what else was really weird too, just quickly? Like there was a show also happening downstairs at the Majestic, and it was a punk rock band that I played with, again, 40 years ago. When I was 15, we opened for them, and they were playing a free show at the Majestic. And I was like, man, am I glad I'm not doing that anymore.
Hey, if it makes sense for you to still be in a band, that's great. If it doesn't, then it doesn't.
I know. It was just really...
We know lots of people who are still in bands.
I know. I'm just glad it's not me.
You I feel like it wouldn't take much for you to join a band again. So you just
Listen, I have my secret friend Scott. I would put together my band, LB and Moonlight, and the Crane Stanton Jr. Orchestra with the Young Christians Choir. I would put that back together if he would want to play a show. It's just me and him, just the two of us for that name.
Good grief.
He plays piano, I play guitar and sing. Sometimes he plays accordion.
And listen, there's the element of me still not believing if this person's real. So maybe you're telling me about a band that you're in by yourself.
I could just be. I could just be completely out of my mind.
Oh, so stupid.
That's all I got.
We're losing it. All right, I have two more tiny things and then we'll leave. One thing that was really depressing.
Oh, geez.
That I knew you would also find depressing is like that the tweets where the open the schools tweets where somebody says like, yo, what is this? Or, oh, I didn't know this existed. And somebody in the comments goes, open the schools.
Yes.
So the thing that fucking did it for me the other day is I've been perusing Facebook Marketplace because I'm trying to trade out stuff that's not really my taste in my house anymore and get new stuff. So I've been on Marketplace a lot and fucking twice now. Obviously there's a big resurgence of people and from TikTok and whatever, like people buying vintage shit and reselling it for money. That's like a real job now. Twice now, I've seen people who are clearly young posting TV trays / TV tables, and it does not remotely say what it is. And in the description, it just says wood thing. That's what it fucking says. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I wish I was kidding. It just says wood thing. They have no fucking idea what it is or what it's used for. People don't know what TV trays are anymore.
What?
I swear to you right now, I could show you the listing. There's a picture outside of someone's car with two TV trays set up, and it says under it, wood thing. They have no idea what they are. I'm not kidding. And I was just like, oh, this is where we are now. All right. I guess I'm fucking 7,000 years old if you don't know what a TV tray is.
Wow.
What would you think? Why do we open the schools?
Open the schools.
Open the fucking schools. Anyway, all right. We'll leave on a good note because we got a very sweet DM, and I'm not gonna say who it's from.
Wait a second, because this goes back to just older things and. I'm doing some research for something that I'm writing right now. I'm looking at a lot of old newspapers, and I stumbled across the 1976 Detroit State Fairground ad. And the guest list is the Osmonds.
Wow.
Like Donnie and Marie Osmond and the brothers.
Yep.
Freddie Prinze.
Oh, his dad. As a wrestler?
No. Freddie Prinze was a comedian.
Why did I think he was a wrestler?
I have no idea. But it says Freddie Prinze from Chico and the Man, which was the show he was doing. Aretha Franklin and Ray Charles.
Damn, that is fucking banger.
$3.
Yo. You would have loved to be at that.
I might have been. I think I have a photograph of the Osmonds on stage.
That's crazy. That is crazy. I sent you that video the other day of Donny Osmond surprising Jennifer Garner.
I did see that.
That was so cute. That was very wholesome.
Yes.
He has not aged in 50 years.
I know. I still think that I could marry Jennifer Garner.
Just try. See, that's a good friend.
In this day and age, just fucking shoot your shot.
I swear. I've dated famous people from Instagram DMs.
All right, what's your sweet DM, and let's get out of here.
All right. Anyway, the nicest DM, I'm not going to say who sent it to us because I don't want to embarrass them, but you guys are going to cry. Tenney legitimately might cry. Anyway, okay. On this episode, you talked about the fire keepers of native tribes. They tend to their ritual fire, keeping it alight for their people. And while it may not seem like it, what you and Tenney have done with WooPod is the same. We weirdos don't have a physical fire. That's not our ritual. Ours is ghosts, aliens, Olive Garden, movies, and most of all, community. So yeah, you guys are fire keepers if that's how you want to look at it.
It's very
I
sweet.
almost started crying.
It's very sweet.
It's not the nicest thing you've ever heard in your life.
It's very, very sweet.
Oh no, I just got choked up again. I read it and then I couldn't answer them for like 3 days because I'm like, I swear to you, I couldn't even answer. I'm like, I don't even know how to answer. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said. So thank you everybody for existing. You're so cute and wonderful.
Yeah, they're all right.
Yeah. Not as good as Kevin at Jersey Mike's, but you guys are fine.
Not as good as Kevin and Dianna.
My dad's best friend. Oh, God.
By the way, there's your name. Kevin and
that's
Dianna.
That's how no one will understand.
No one understands the titles anyway.
I know. Shit show. Everything's a shit show.
All right, I'm all done.
Oh, I love it. I know. I gotta lay down.
All right.
It's been a long day, a long night. Toad's exhausted. I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted. I have a tombstone this week.
I know. You gotta fly to Arizona.
That's right.
I am not doing that.
I am doing that. I am not dressing up like a cowboy. I will make this advanced.
Don't do it.
I'm not wearing a cowboy hat. I am not wearing cowboy boots. Sorry, everybody. Not doing it.
Dress up like a cactus. Fuck it.
Nobody touch me.
Just be super
Nobody touch me.
naturey. Nobody touch me.
All right, I'm all done.
All right, me too. Good
All
job.
right. Good job, buddy. Thanks, everybody. We love you all.
We love you guys.
Have a good week. We'll talk to you later.
We'll talk to you when Tenney's back from Tombstone.
Yes, indeed. Okay, bye.
Bye. Oh my God, bye.